Hello friends, welcome back to another interesting module in RPE, which is on publication metrics. In this module, we will try to understand what are the different publication metrics which are available for us to understand, like journal based metrics, author based metrics, and why these publication metrics are very important as far as our institutions are concerned or our accrediting bodies are concerned. And all those things we will try to learn from this module. And the main objectives of this module is to know the importance of publication metrics, to know about citation based metrics and citation databases. We knew that as a literature point of view. Now we will see these citation databases as a publication metrics point of view, and to know about journal based metrics, and also to know about article based metrics and author based metrics. These are the three different type of metrics which we can assess the scholarly papers. And also we will try to explore about researchers ID, various researchers ID, and what are the advantages of these researchers ID. We will see that. Okay, in this line I have designed my presentation. First we will try to see publication metrics, why they are important, why they are considered in ranking and accreditation agencies and also funding agencies, and citation databases. We will see from where we can get this citation data to compute various publication metrics, and we will see various journal based metrics, that is impact factor, site score, quartile, and other things. And also we will explore author based metrics like citation profiling, H index, G index, I-10 index, and so on, and various researchers ID like Publan ID, Scopus ID, RCID ID, Google Scholar ID. So we will try to see this and what are the advantages of that. Okay. So why publication metrics are important? Unfortunately, these have become a measuring tool to assess the performance of an academic institution or a research institutions. So these scholarly publications has become one of the parameter, okay, to assess the impact of research and to know the quality of the publication and source. And same time, many libraries has to acquire these journals, right? So we should acquire the quality publications. So how this quality has been assessed for a publication based on again these publication metrics. And also funding agencies are looking at these publication metrics as a tool or a parameter to evaluate an individual researcher or an individual organization, how their research quality is about. Okay. And also now we are witnessing lot of ranking frameworks where they give a significant weightage for these publication metrics. Okay. And also to assess individual researchers or auditor for various awards and recognitions, especially in scientific field, they look at the publications, what kind of publications they have, what kind of citation pattern they have, and okay, and all other related metrics. So these are the various reasons. Now the publications have become a important parameters. Okay. So are publication metrics are important? Definitely yes. In the present scenario, if you look at research assessment point of view, the funding agencies are seriously looking at last 10 years or 20 years of publications of an individual or an institution. When it comes to institutional ranking frameworks like international ranking frameworks like US ranking, Times ranking, our own NIRF ranking has got a significant amount of weightage for these publications and related metrics. And the institution accrediting bodies like NAC, NBA, they also have a significant weightage for this publication metrics. And also when you look at a researcher point of view or an individual author point of view, yes, of course it helps them to build a career in the field, in the domain if they are very young. So if they are able to publish a high impact factor journal papers or a high citations, if they get more and more citations, definitely it will help them to build a career. And also many institutions, they have linked their promotion and annual increments to the number of papers, number of publications which you have. Of course it is very much true in your academic institutions. Okay. And also over a period of time, when you have a high publication metric journal articles, so you will be considered as a domain expert and you will have a lot of invitations to various editorial board, various committees, various review boards, etc. So okay, So, publication metrics are important both as an individual or an institutional level. So, I have taken ranking thing which is a recent trending thing in especially in academic institutions. They are all into a competitive mode, and also this ranking will help them to get a branding, better branding will again in turn get a better admissions, better success rate and so on. If you look at the various rankings, the popular rankings, we have a Times Higher Education ranking, we have a QS ranking, we have academic ranking of World University ARW, SCIMAGO ranking, and NRF ranking, which is again a national ranking. Okay. So, as far as Times Higher Education ranking, they take top 2000 best institutes and they rank them, and out of that there are 63 Indian institutions ranked, and in QS ranking they take somewhere around 5000 institutions across the whole world, and they rank only 1000 ranks, top 1000 institution, and from India only 29 institutions were able to make into this ranking, and in ARW they consider somewhere 2000 institutions in the primary stage itself, and they rank only 1000 institutions where only 14 institutes are there, and SCIMAGO is purely based on Scopus publication data where 221 institutions are there, and NIRF also ranks on 200 rank in various categories, right, and first 100 rank will have a primary significance, important significance. Of course, the list from 100 to 200 institutions are also. Okay. No, it's for any higher education institutions, it's their ambitious goal to be part of this top ranked institutions. And if you look at the various weightages, various parameters they consider for each ranking framework, for example, Times Higher Education World University ranking, so they give 30% to the citations which are indexed in SCI databases. Okay. So, out of 100, 30% plays a very significant role. Similarly, for a QS ranking, World University ranking, citations play a 20% significance. Okay, and various other parameters are also there. And if you look at ARW, academic ranking of world universities, they give a 40% for citation and publication data. Okay, so that's again a significant amount of weightage these ranking frameworks gives. And SCIMAGO ranking is 100% based on publication data, which is indexed in Scopus. Okay. So, now look at our own NIRF ranking, where every year they do it in for various domains, and it is assessed for 400 weightage. In that 100 weightage is for your publication, RP, research and publications. In that, number of publication indexed in Scopus and Web of Science gets around 35%. Okay, and quality publications, which are the citations for these papers, they take 3-year window. So that is around 40 marks. So total 75% in out of 100 is given to your publications. So that's where this scientific, this research publications or scholarly publications play important role in these ranking frameworks. If you look at the accreditation process, NBA, NAC and NABH, if you look at NBA, NAC accreditation, for universities it gives a 100% weightage. For autonomous, it is autonomous engineering college 30% marks. For affiliated college, it is 15, and if it is a PG, 25. So this weightages play a significant role in your accreditation grades also. So that's why many institutes give more emphasis on research publication along with your academic activities. Okay. And if you look at the funding agencies, they also look at various parameters. In that, they look at the publications, number of books you published, number of research papers, number of patents you have filed, and list of publications in last 10 years, what is the significance of those publications, what are the citations, and which impact factor journal you have published. So all those parameters they look, and before awarding the research grant. So So, it is very important for us to have a very good publication metrics. Now, you may be wondering how these publication metrics are derived. So, all publication metrics are calculated based on the citation analysis. Citations are captured by two databases, as we know, Web of Science and Scopus. Based on this citation data, they calculate number of or various type of metrics which are used to rank the journals, okay, rank the researchers, individual researchers, and rank the article level also, okay, that is called altimetrics, and also we can rank universities, countries, etc. So, what is citation analysis? Citation analysis is a way of measuring a relative importance or an impact of an author, of an article or a journal publication, okay, by counting number of times that author or an article or publication has been cited by others. Okay, that is what is citation. And we common terminologies we hear about in this context is bibliometrics. Bibliometrics is again application of your mathematical and statistical models to study the behavior of these publications by using this bibliographic data. And scientometric is again a behavior of science information by applying mathematical and statistical methods. And similarly, we have a informatics, we have a librometrics, cybermetrics. So, all those metrics will be analyzed for those subjects. Okay. So, mainly we can divide this publication metrics into two categories. One is a journal based metrics and an article level metrics, which is mainly focuses on judging the quality of a publication journal. In that we have an impact factor which is widely accepted metric, and we have an immediacy index, we have an eigen score, we have a site score, we have SNIP score, we have SJR score, we have altimetrics. So, these are the metrics which are used to judge a journal or a publication. And there are other set of metrics which are used to measure an author productivity or a individual author. So, that is, author can be measured by creating a citation profile of his all publication, number of citations, number of collaborations, what he has done, and we can have an H index, we can have a G index, I10 index, I20 index, and we have P index, we have a H5 index. So many indexes are there. Okay, among them primarily or mainly used indexes are H index and G index. Of course, by Google gives I10 index. So, what we will do, we will try to understand each one of these metrics, and we will try to analyze in what context and what are the drawbacks, limitations of each one. Okay, metrics, before that, from where these metrics sources, where these citations are captured, we will try to see the source. As we know, there are the three different citation databases are there. One is Web of Knowledge, another is Scopus. These are the two databases which are considered to calculate, to compute citation metrics which are acceptable by the decision making bodies like your ranking frameworks, accreditation, funding agencies. Of course, Google Scholar also gives some citation metrics, but there is no quality parameter involved there. They go by only quantity parameters. Okay. So, we will try to understand one by one. Web of Knowledge, as I told you, it covers 115 years of data, and they have a subject wise sub databases. For science, it is a SCIE, Science Citation Index Expanded Database. Okay, we have a social science, we have arts and humanity, and the journal impact factor to judge the quality of a journal is computed based on this metrics. Okay, and Google Scholar is again a free search platform for a scholarly content captured by Google. Enable research to create profile and link their publication or map their publication. Google automatically creates capture the citation and generates a H index and IT index based on number of people uses those articles. Why Google metrics are not considered? Because the Web of Science and Scopus considers a citation if you use your work, if somebody uses your work in their journal article or a conference papers only. Whereas Google, if I use somebody's work in my preparing my presentation or my report and give one reference, it will count as a citation. So, which is not done in Web of Science and Scopus. Okay, that's why they are more of quality conscious, whereas Google captures everything and increases the citation. That's why whenever you see your citation will always be more in Google Scholar than in Scopus or Web of Science. Okay. This is how Google Scholar looks. Okay, here one a scientist has created a profile and he has listed all his papers, all his publications. So his Google citations is 5,000 something. Okay, whereas if you look at the Scopus, it will be only 4,000 or 4,500. H index is 42, I10 index is 10. We will understand what are these in later slides. Okay, and how is this publication growth, and all those metrics Google Scholar will create automatically, and this will be your Google Scholar ID. Okay. The other most important citation database is a Scopus launched in 2004 by Elsevier. They also were more of quality conscious, and they have integrated with RCID. I think these slides we have covered in our literature search thing, and these are the subject coverage of Scopus. So what is important is this Scopus uses this analyze model to track citations for a time for a set of authors or institutional documents. They assess research trends with the analyze module, and you can also use they also generate H index for your publication for your institution, and analyze authors publishing output by author evaluator, and also various other publication metrics like site score, SNIP, SJR scores are calculated using Scopus citation data. And also we have a Indian citation index. Unfortunately, many Indian journals which are published locally are not able to make it into these two databases, Web of Science and Scopus, and there was an attempt by Diva Enterprises to create an Indian level Indian citation index, and it has indexed 1,000 peer reviewed Indian journals. Okay, and focuses on giving access to all these articles published local in Indian R&D literature at national and global level, and they also publishes various sub databases like Indian Science Citation Index, Indian Social Science and Humanities Citation Index, Indian Journal Citation Reports, and etc. And they are trying to cover last 10 years of data. Okay, so this is very interesting, but of course you need to have a subscription to that. Initially NIRF used to cover citations at Indian Citation Index, later it has been discontinued. Okay. And now let us understand what are the journal metrics available, how they are computed for a journal. One of the important journal based metric is a journal impact factor. Okay, it's originally conceived by Eugene Garfield in 1972 to help libraries to build their journal collection quality journal, to subscribe a quality journal. So this helps us to measure the quality of a journal or a serial publication, and it measures the average citation rate of the journal. Okay, and it will be a guide for researchers to publish their work in a core quality journal. So since impact factor gives an average citation rate, so as a researcher you can always if you are a quality conscious, if you want to publish in a high quality journal, you can look at these kind of metrics and select that. And it is published by a Clarivate Analytics. Earlier it was a Thomson Reuters. Okay, and it's a dynamic list. Every year impact factor changes based on the number of citations that journal has received. Okay, and impact factor is still today is followed by 80% of decision makers in the world to whenever they want to judge a journal, whenever they want to evaluate a journal. Okay. So how impact factor is calculated? They take a 3-year data, citation data, 3-year window of that. So how it is calculated? For example, if I want to calculate impact factor for 2015, okay. So they count number of articles published in previous 2 years. That is 2013, the journal has published 25. 2014, journal has published 20 article, and these 45 article, how many citations it has received in these 3 years, end of 2015, that is 13, 14, 15, number of citations. So these 45 articles at the end of 2015 received 500 articles. Then impact factor for 2015 is calculated, total number of citation received in the 3 years for the article published in previous 2 years, that is 25 plus 20, 45, 500. 500 divided by 45, the impact factor of this journal is 11.11. Okay, hope it is clear for you. So here I have put the same example here. If an year X, if the citations of a journal X in the past 2 years and the total citable items in the journal first year. For example, say this X is an AIA journal published, and we are computing impact factor for 2012, then the number of citations received divided by number of articles published in that year, that is 545 divided by 11. This is the citation impact factor of the journal. Okay. Limitations of journal impact factor. So many people misunderstand that this journal impact factor is for individual. No, journal impact factor is for a journal. Okay. And the 2-year span of citation data or publication data is very insignificant as far as statistically it is concerned, and it always depends on field or subject based, subject bias. For example, medical or chemical science, they will have more researchers and a lot of research will go on, and there will be a more potential to get more impact factor for those journals. That is why if you look at the medical journals, impact factor always it will be more. If you consider the aerospace kind of a journal, it will take very few researchers will be there, and there will be very few research articles. Okay, and comparatively the impact factor will be, the citation potentiality will be very low. So it considers only citable items are included. For example, if you take a journal, it will consider only pure research articles. In journal, there will be so many other items, like there will be a editorial note, there will be a letters, there will be a communication, short communications. All those things impact factor will ignore, because they also contain some technical value, but unfortunately impact factor will ignore that. Only few articles in journal get higher citation. For example, the journal has got a 20 article. So in that only one article has got some 300 citations, remaining 19 article has got 0 citation, but journal impact factor fails to address that issue. Okay, so that's where your article influence matrix will come into picture. So sometimes the artificially inflated by self citations. So this is now it is becoming a more one of the publication misconduct on editorial part, where unnecessarily the editorial or reviewer insists to cite their own publication, the journal publication, in order to increase the impact factor. So that it fails to avoid that drawback, and it is limited to subset of journals covered. Okay, and SAI databases are used as a source, largely cover only English language. There may be a very good research published in non-English language journals, but unfortunately there is no metrics to evaluate that. Okay, in that way these are the few limitations of journal impact factor. The other matrix is a immediacy index. So immediacy index is used to know the currency of the research topic what you have taken. Okay, it's an average number of times article cited in the same year itself. For example, you have published and this immediacy index also is published along with your JCR report, we can see, and it highlights the urgent research work in the field. So how immediacy index is calculated? The cites in 2018 to the articles published in the same year divided by number of articles published in that year. For example, AIA journal has got citations of 50 in the year 2018, and it has published around 60 article in the 18, then 50 divided by 60. In this case, AIA has journaled 80 articles in the year 2018, and this 80 articles has received 20 citation at the end of December. So immediacy index is 0.25. So the chances of getting citations for articles published in the first quarter or the second quarter of the year will be more, because any article to receive citations, it requires some time. Whereas if the area of research is very urgent, for example your COVID research, like, so immediately the COVID articles, research article is to get citations, because it was a very critical and very emergent in nature. So many people jumped into research of various aspects of COVID, and there was a immediacy, immediate response should be given to the COVID, right, the pandemic. So that's why that research immediacy index will be higher. Okay, that's how the urgency in the field can be calculated using immediacy index. Other type of score is eigenfactor. It is similar to impact factor score, but it considers 5 years of citation data to calculate that, and it excludes self citations of this journal, which was again self boosting or artificial inflation and all for that journal will be avoided. Okay, how eigenfactor is calculated? Eigenfactor is calculated by creating a citation matrix that records citations from each journal to each journal, okay, by excluding self citations, and the citing year will be the JCR year, okay, and the cited period in the 5-year window prior to the JCR year. Okay. So, they will take, for example, 2000 number of citations received by the articles published from 2015 to 19, and those number of citations they will calculate for the JCR year 2020. Okay. So it eliminates editorial malpractices like artificial inflating of the self citations of the journal. Okay. And there are other metrics called article influence, where the average influence per article of the paper of the journal. For example, one article may contribute more citations in the journal, remaining articles may not contribute to the journal citations. So, that impact is calculated using article influence, and the 5-year average impact factor is an impact factor window. There it was 2 years, it will be expanded up to 5 years, so that more statistical data will get into, and it will have a more significant impact factor number. And we have also have a cited half-life. The cited half-life is a median age of a journal articles at where the cited in the JCR year. Again, these are all combined metrics when you get a impact factor report, that is journal citation report. They compute all these metrics, and those are all the JCR report metrics are based on Web of Science data. And the Scopus is also equally good citation databases. They also came out with the other kind of a metrics to judge the journals which are indexed in Scopus. And the site score is equivalent to your journal impact factor. It's a new metric system started in 2016. Okay, and the score is based on a Scopus data. Whatever citations captured by Scopus, it's done. And this site score is free to access, as I showed in the previous session. Journal select session. If you go to Scopus site, you can know the site score of each journal without having subscription. Here the difference from impact factor is the impact factor takes 2-year data. Here it takes a 3 years of citation data. Okay, 1 year expanded, and also it includes letter, notes, editorial, conference papers, and other indexed by Scopus. Okay, and site score is also calculated every year, and the site score will change every year based on the number of citations the journal receives. Okay, how site score is calculated? Instead of 2-year window, it takes 3-year window to calculate a site score for 2015. Okay. It's all similar to impact factor, but 1 year extra. And site score also gives lot of other metrics like your citation count, document count, site score tracker, and more importantly the site score percentile. It gives the top 2% of the journals in each field it gives. Okay, it indicates the relative standing point of a journal in the subject field. Site score percentile is 98, means the journals is in the top 2%. So these journals will have a higher weightage in your NIRF ranking also. Okay, and all your quartile, journal quartiles which you would have heard about frequently are based on a site score data. For example, quartile 1 journal means it is 99th to 75th percentile. The journals which fall under, when you make a list of all site score journal in a particular subject and assign a percentile, the journal which falls between 99th to 75th percentile is quartile 1, and the quartile 2 are journal titles falls from 74th to 50th percentile is quartile 2, and the quartile 3 the journal titles in 49th to 25th percentile, and quartile 4 journals are 24th to 0th percentile, and there may be some journals which are only indexed in Scopus may not have percentile also. Okay, site score rank indicates the absolute standing of a journal in the field. Okay, for example, 14th out of 63 journal in the category is a 14th percentile kind of a thing. Okay, now this side scores will give the quality journals of the journal. Mainly depends on the subject basis, right? So definitely, say now you have an institution, you have a chemistry department, you have a physics department, you have a mathematical department, you have an aerospace department. Imagine now your institution comes out with the policy, those who have published papers in a side score which is above 20 will get promotion. Those who have published papers below 20 will not get. Definitely, those who are all in biological sciences, chemical sciences, medical sciences will qualify for the promotion, but the rest all will not qualify because the nature of subject is like that. Then lot of research goes on in chemical science and biological sciences. So lot of papers will be there, lot of researchers are there. So they will get more and more citations to those journals, right? Whereas if you take a aerospace, very few researchers are there across the entire world, and very few articles gets published, and they get very few citations. So side score will definitely be less. So how do you normalize this? So you have to compare apple with apple, you have to compare with orange with apple. I cannot compare apple with orange and make some policy, right? So in order to do that, they came out with a source normalized impact for paper. So where they normalize this side score or impact factors kind of a thing. So SNIP was created by Professor Henk Moord from University of Leiden. This to know the journal's contextual citation impact and weighing citations based on the total number of citations in the subject field. It also takes 3-year citation window like side score, and they have a two-step calculation. One is calculation of a raw impact of a journal and calculation of citation potential. How many citations this field journal can give to other journals. Okay. So SNIP score is again divided by journal raw impact factor divided by citation potentiality. So it normalizes the citation behavior between the subjects, the journals of those subjects. So how it is calculated? First one, raw journal impact factor is calculated based on your side score formula. It is as simple as side score formula. Okay. Citations received by a journal 20 citable article from 15, 16, 17. Total number of articles published in these 3 years. Okay. So this is your side score, which is also called as a journal raw impact factor. So citation potential. So this journal, how many citations this journal is given to other journals? That is citation potential. Okay. So how they will calculate? Collect papers citing 1 to 3 year old papers of a targeted journal. You take a journal and collect all articles in that 3 year and collect the reference list. Each article will have references, and say there are some 10 articles published in 3 years. 10 articles will have so many references. You count that. Okay. And so here I have given the formula. Okay. Count, and it will be the total divided by journal raw impact factor divided by citation potential. So this gives the journal raw impact factor, the SNIP score. So example, yeah, SNIP example I had given here. So for example, I have taken a journal raw impact factor for the year 2021. I have taken 2 journals. This is a medical journal. This is a narrower field called aerospace journal. Okay. This Journal of Cancer Research in 2015, it has published 22 articles. In 16, 24 articles. 17, 23 articles. Number of citations received in 2018 is 1625. If you divide this 69 by 1625 by 69, this is the journal raw impact factor, nothing but a side score. Side score is 23.55 here for this journal. Side score is 1.216 for this journal. Now if you have a promotion policy based on side score impact factor, the papers published in 10 and above side score or impact factor will get promotion. The papers published below 10 side score, definitely aerospace faculty will not get promotion, he will get promotion. So how do you normalize? Apart from this, now the citation potential also is calculated for SNIP. For example, the number of references papers published by Journal of Cancer 22, 24, 23. To write these many papers, they have used these many references. They have used these many references means they had given citations to other journals, right, other papers. So, their citation potentiality of this journal is 16.63. That means this journal is also getting citation and this journal is also equally giving citations to other. Whereas here it has given this many, they have used this many references and it has given a citation potentiality of 9 to other journals. Okay. So, now how SNIP is calculated? Journal raw impact factor divided by citation potential. For cancer research, 23.55 is a journal raw impact factor, that is nothing but site score, divided by citation potentiality is 0.535, right. Whereas AIA paper 1.21 is a journal raw impact factor, citation potentiality is 9.756. So, SNIP score is 0.124. Comparing 23 and 1, comparing 0.5 and 1 is somewhat better, right. So, we can have a better inferences from this. Okay. So, the impact is normalized to some extent. So, that is how SNIP is calculated. So, other important measure to measure quality of journal is SCImago journal ranking. So, okay, it is an initiative by again Granada University of Granada by Spain. It is purely based on Scopus data, and this raw citation data for 34,000 journals which are indexed in Scopus, and it also considers 3-year window of a citation data, and what it does, it will attach prestige to the each citation of each journal. Okay. So, similarly like Google PageRank, and citations are weighted depending on the source they come from. For example, okay, the citation SDR score is calculated using this complex mathematical formula, and if you are from a statistical mathematical formula, you will be able to understand. So, this is how the weightage they assign for each citation. For example, in life sciences journal, it receives lot of citations and it gives lot of citations to other journal. So, the prestige of that citation will be very less. Okay. Whereas in arts and humanities, the getting citation is also very less and giving citations to other sources is also very less. The weightage of the citation will be more, and this is normalized with this formula. Okay. That is how they generate SJR score, and this is where you find all SJR ranking for each year for each journal. Okay. This is where it gives SJR rank by using that formula. So, these are the major publication metrics to judge the journal. Okay. There are advantages, there are disadvantages of having limitations of this SJR score. One is freely available, more transparent than IF because it has got more 3-year window of citation data, includes large number of journals than JCR, etc., etc., and it's kind of a more complex to compute methodology to understand as far as individual user is concerned. Okay. So, those are all about publication level metrics. Now, there is a new concept to measure article level metrics. Okay. What is it's called alt metrics. So, one of the fundamental problem with citation based metrics is a time gap. For example, to calculate impact factor or a site score, I have to wait for 3 years to know the quality of that journal, right. So, whereas I want to know the metrics for my article immediately, the day one it start accepted. So, what are the different type of metrics? There are number of downloads, number of shares on social media, number of shares on Twitter, number of usage in blogs, etc., social media network. So, there are some technology platform which captures all these kind of metrics and gives you along with the article. So, these are called article level metrics and automatically extracted from social media through various APIs. Okay. So, these are the major players of this altmetrics. One is Impact Study, Plumex, Altmetrics. These are the platforms who capture the altmetrics with the article metrics which are shared on social media. Okay. and all major publishers have a tie-up with these agencies, and they display these altmetrics along with your article on a publisher website. Okay. And these are the various sources where people will share their articles, like in Mendeley platform, where you can share with all Mendeley group of members. Okay. And PubMed also, they have a provision to share articles, SlideShare, Figshare, Wikipedia, Facebook, okay, Twitter. These are the places where this article sharing will happen, and those altmetric agencies will capture the data and they assign for you. For example, you would have seen this kind of a badges if you visit IRINS website, where they are trying to capture all the research based metrics in one platform. They will have this altmetric badge also. So this 37 means this article has been tweeted 28 times, blogged one time, there was one Facebook sharing, okay, and there are one Mendeley reader. Okay, these are the various places this article. So these are also numbers which will be encouraging for us, like as an author. See, impact factor, H-index, citations are all also numbers which will be motivating, which will be like we feel proud that my article has got so many citations. Similarly, my article has got 37 altmetrics. That is also kind of a motivating factor which shows the impact of your research which many people are using. And also you should be careful about various fake metrics, especially these predatory publishers comes out with various type of metrics, like they almost camouflage the original metrics, like instead of JIF, General Impact Factor, they have a GIF, Global Impact Factor. If you look at the site score, the exact logo, exact color combination of font color they have replicated. Instead of site score, it is a site factor. So many these predatory publisher will embed these kind of metrics to fool researchers and attract these publications. Okay. So site factor, site score. See, the fonts also they use the same way. Okay, you should be very careful about fake metrics. Now we come back to author based metrics. So what are the different type of author based metrics available to judge an individual researcher? Okay, so these are all the researcher level metrics. Basically, again, these are also calculated based on the citation metrics. Okay, so the major main criteria used to measure author productivity is a citation profiling of an individual author, H-index, G-index, I-10 index, and altmetrics also considered to measure the importance or the weightage of an author. Okay, so citation profile is purely based on number of papers published and indexed in SCI databases, okay, and of number of citations received and number of collaborative papers both national and international level, and subdomain wise contribution, and document types, number of journal articles published, number of conference paper published, number of book chapters published, and funding and sponsors from where he has taken money to do research. So all those profiling you can do. For example, here I have done a citation profiling of an individual author who has published 202 articles, and its growth of his publication in Scopus, excuse me, and documents per source, collaborative authors and their affiliation. All those things I can generate automatically if I go to subscribe version of Scopus. We will see that when we get into a demonstration. This is our citation profile. Citations what he has received for his 202 articles. Each year the citations are compounded. Total number of citations he received is 4,608. Okay. So now problem is, imagine there is a scenario where he has published 200 articles and he has got a 4,600 citations, a fantastic research career. Imagine the scenario, a author has got a 200 publication, author has got a 4,600 citations, but this 4,600 citation, out of 4,600 citation, 4,550 citations has come from one paper which he published 20 years before. After that he has published 199 papers which has got only 50 citations. Can you say entire career is a very good scientist, very good researcher? No, right? Because one paper has got 4,500 citations, remaining 199 papers has not got much citations. So I cannot give a credit to him for entire career. I can give him a credit for one paper, right? So how do you tackle this? To address this issue, there comes the H index. Okay, so H index tries to measure the productivity of an individual author throughout the career. So H index was introduced by George Hersh in 2005, an American physicist, seen as a fairer alternative than simply computing the total number of papers, total number of citations. Okay, it's a disproportionate weightage of a highly cited papers. Okay, as I told you in the previous example, one paper has got more citations, remaining not got citation. It is easy to compute and it reflects the number of publications and number of citations per publication. So the index works properly only by comparing citations working in the same field. Again, you should not compare orange with apple. Okay, the same H index author should be compared with the same disciplined another author like. Okay. So how H index is calculated? Imagine a scientist or an author has got a H index of 38, tells that he has written 222 papers, from which 38 have received at least 38 citation. If you draw a papers on x-axis, okay, and citations on y-axis, where the both intersect, that is the H index point. For example, H index of 38 means the 38th paper has got 38 citation. Definitely remaining 37 papers, the prior papers have got more than 38 citations. That means all those 38 papers you would have produced in the span of 20 years has got a good papers. For example, if his H index is 40 means 40th paper should have a 40 citation, remaining all 39 papers should have 40 or more than 40 citations. Now imagine the example which I gave. One article has got 4,500 citation, so other articles have got 0 citation or 1 citation. Okay, then his H index will be 1, not the 40, though his citation is 4,600. So that's how H index helps us to measure the productivity of a researcher over a period of time. Okay, and it is widely accepted, and now many institutes before judging an author productivity they consider H index. Hope it is clear. So now we have one more index called G index, which gives where H index gives weightage to the higher citation papers, but it ignores the moderate citation papers. So to compensate that, they introduced a G index. Okay, so if a G index is said to be 10, then the square of the total citations where it meets. For example, a set of paper has G index. If G is the highest rank, such that the top G papers have put together at least G square citations. Okay, in this example, so author has published one paper, it has got 70 citation, added up 7, thus cumulative is 70 citation. In 2009, one paper which has got 12 citations, so total citation is 82. In 2009, third paper, 6 citation, 88, 10, 4, 5 citation, 93, cumulative citation is 93. In 2009, 5 citation, 5 paper, 5 citations, cumulative is 98. As far as H index goes, it stops here because 5th paper has got 5 citation. All other papers have got more than equal either 5 or more than 5. So his H index stops here. What about this paper? These are also looks good papers, right? 4, 4, 4 it has got. So to compensate this, they have introduced G index. In 2010, 6th paper he has published, which has got 4 index, so cumulative citation is 102. So 6 square is 36, definitely G index is more than this. In 2011, 7, 4 citation, 6, 7 square is 49, definitely G index is more than 7. In 8th, cumulative is 110, 8 square is 64, definitely G index is more. When it comes to 10th paper, 2 citations, so total cumulative citation is 114, 10 square is 100, definitely 114 is more than 100, right, 10 square. So its G index stands at 10. If it is G index is 11th, the cumulative citation should be 121. This citation can happen anywhere here. Once it is becomes 121, his G index will jump to 11, whereas his H index has to be, if his H index has to be 6 means this has to be 6, this has to be 6, this has to be 6. Okay. So these are the various means to calculate the productivity of an author to normalize. You may ask why all these many indexes are required, right? So each index, each statistical method may have one or the other limitations. The new statistician or a new scientometrician will come out with a solution for those kind of limitation. But as of today, so widely accepted author productivity metric is H index. Okay. So item index is based on the Google citation metrics which Google Scholar gives. So how you calculate item index? For example, the paper which has got a minimum of 10 citation, where that stands. For example, in this author case, he has published 8 articles and the 6th article has 10 and all other 5 has got more than 10. His item index is 20, whereas if it is I20 index means, so where the position of the article meets the 20 citations. Like that you can keep on increasing the I10 or I20 index. Okay, these are the various quite popular publication metrics for authors, for articles, for journals has been calculated. I know in one class it may be very difficult for you to understand. You please go back and refer various sources have discussed these kind of metrics. Of course, and as far as the examination point of view is concerned, I think there will be several questions on this publication metrics basis. How to calculate general impact factor, or how to calculate site score, or H index, G index, those kind of questions you can expect. So last part of this presentation is researcher's ID. How this researcher's ID will help you to bring all your publications under one umbrella. Because if you look at Indian names or any other author names, so there will be a first name, middle name, last name concept, right? And whenever you upload your article to a journal, the template, they will have a first name, middle name, last name, and the template may vary from publisher to publisher. Okay, some may ask first name, some may ask first last name. So what happens when you publish articles with various journals, this author name will become interchange. For example, we have a Ramchandra Rangappa Rao. So one journal will take R.R. Rao, another journal will take Rao R.R., another journal will take Ramchandra R. Rao. So there are various combination it can appear. So what happens when citation indexes index these papers, they will treat them as a different authors. How it will know it is the same author, right? So it becomes very difficult to bring all your publication under one umbrella if you go by a name. So how to address this ambiguity? So there are various researchers ID where you can integrate all your papers under one researchers ID, which will be a unique number. So for example, researchers ID earlier we used to have, now it has become a Publan ID, which is largely from Web of Science. We have a Scopus ID. Whenever your documents gets indexed in Scopus, that name will get one ID. Okay, and RCID ID is again a publisher neutral not profit initiation, where you will get in a unique ID, and now almost all publishers are making it mandatory to have a RCID ID. Okay, and also Google Scholar ID, where you can integrate all your all your publication by creating a Google Scholar ID, where Google will try to capture all citation based metrics. Okay, so this is a Google Scholar ID. Once you create a Google Scholar profile, you can see after equal symbol there will be one alphanumeric ID. So that will be your Google Scholar ID. A service by Google can create a profile and integrate all your publications, automatically track citations from all sources. Google Scholar ID reflects in your URL, your profile URL. This is where it will be there. So I can create all my publications. Okay, automatically it tracks number of citation. It automatically calculates H index and I10 index. Okay, researchers ID, again it's a service by a Publan of a Web of Science group. So they give you some alphanumeric ID, unique ID, okay, and whenever your papers indexed in Web of Science, you can link it there. Okay, so it also keeps tracks of number of publication, citation metrics, peer review history. For example, if you do you extend a review to other journals, you may get a journal article to review. So those things also you can do. I have reviewed so many articles. Those information also it gets reflected. Again, it's an academic activity, right? So PubLaws allow authors to create profile and list all their publications. And Scopus is again, these are all database specific IDs. PubLawn is for Web of Science, Scopus is for Scopus ID is for Scopus, Google Scholar is for Google Scholar ID. Whenever your paper gets indexed in Scopus, you will get a numeric ID like this. If you click on that, all your paper publications will come into, all metrics will be displayed here. Okay, and it will display the publication growth and all those things. So those are all platform dependent or a database dependent researcher's ID. So now I want to have an independent ID, right? In it should work with all databases. You should work with all publishers. So what is that? That's called Open Researchers and Contributor ID, RCID ID. It's again a not-for-profit initiative. It gives you a unique number for each registration. Okay, and that number you can use it for all your future correspondence to the all major journals. Okay, RCID integration. Now many research funding agencies are looking at your RCID data. You create a profile in RCID and you integrate all your publications and you integrate all this publication with the Scopus and other databases. The funding agencies will look at your RCID platform to evaluate your research publications. Okay, and the cross-check with RCID and universities and research organizations, they can create a university instance and they can integrate all their publications at their instance, and publishers and professional associations can also make use of this. And these are the various institutions who are taking part, all membership based. For individual, RCID is free. For institutions, they had to have a fee based structure. So these are as a membership fee, and these are the various institutions, they are part of this RCID initiative. Okay, these are the number of people registered. I have taken this in quite a long. So now there are a lot of people have registered with RCID ID. This is how it gives us allows me to create a profile. This will be my RCID ID. It's a unique number, 16-digit unique number, where I can create all my publication details, my education qualification, employment detail, funding agencies, entire my research profile I can create here free of cost. Okay, and my area of subject, area of interest and all those things. Okay, now you may be a suggestion, if you are a senior most researcher, you have already published many papers, okay, which are part of in Scopus under various umbrella, various names. And for young researchers or for future publication, I can directly use my RCID ID. What about the retrospective publication? How do I integrate with these citation databases? So RCID and these databases allows you to do that. For example, for prospective articles, for example, I want to upload a paper for Emerald. Okay, I have logged into the Emerald Author Central. There is a field called RCID field. I have directly put my name, and whatever name I put, whatever way, Shivaram BS, Shivaram BS, so it will take care by this RCID number. Okay, so whatever retrospective. So once you create a profile at RCID, and you can also integrate these publication with various databases by clicking on AdWorks, okay, and AdWorks search and link. Okay, so if you search and link, if you click, you can integrate all your publications, retrospective publications with these databases. For example, I want to integrate with Scopus. Okay, I will go to add link. Okay, AdWorks, search and link. I select Scopus. I will I will search in Scopus all for all my article. For example, you can see here one of a scientist name has been represented in 4 different ways: Bershelia Harish C, Bershelia HC, Bershelia Harish C. So earlier what was happened? All his papers were distributed under forename. Since I integrated with ORCID ID, so all these papers have come to one umbrella. So I can have a complete picture of this particular author. Okay. So once this integration happens, so all papers will come to one umbrella, and this is how whenever somebody else, for example, somebody who is evaluating your citation profile for awarding you, so he can search and he will find all articles under different names now, since he has integrated with ORCID ID. If he has not integrated, then he will be having only one name and he will have missed out other names. So he may not have a complete citation profile, right. So these are the advantages of this researcher's ID. I think that's all from my side for this module. What we will do, we will go for a Scopus demo and try to create a citation profile for institution, for individual author, okay, and we will see other metrics using Scopus. I am sure you can go back and refer to various sources and try to understand about various metrics in detail. Okay. Now I have logged into Scopus. Hope it will work now. Okay. Say I will go to organization search, say VTU, Visvesvaraya Technological University. I want to go by only VTU, document by affiliation only. So I want to see last 3 years profile of, okay, it will allow me to select only. So I want to see the publication productivity of VT from 17, 18, 19, 20, 4 years data I will take, because Scopus will allow me to do only citation profiling for only 2000 articles. Oh, again 100 data. So I will take out this exclude. I will take only 3-year data. Okay, it will come below. Okay. Now what I will do? I will select all and I will analyze results. So this is a citation profile of a VTU for 3 years. Okay. So this is the growth of articles. In 2018 there were 423 articles by VTU only. In 19 it became 604. In 20 755. So there is a consistent growth in your publication growth, SCI publication growth, and these are the by document per year by source. Okay. These are the major most productive authors, top 10 authors who has published papers. Shetty NP has published more than 75 papers. Okay, Afzal, and collaboration, international collaboration and institutional collaboration. Visvesvaraya Technological University, Ramaya Institute of RV College, Dayanand Sagar, they have a collaborative research. Documents by type, majority are journal articles, and second highest articles are conference paper, then book chapters, review papers, data papers, erratum, editorial. Okay, and the subject wise, engineering, computer science, material science, physics, chemistry, these are all the subject headings of your Scopus. Now I want to see the these are all various profiling of that. I want to see the citation profile, how these articles has got citation, because NIRF calculates only 3-year window data, right. So now I select all and I will ask how this citation, how many citations these articles has received and what is the citation growth and what is the H index for these 3 years for VTU. So it will calculate automatically. Look, this is the citation growth. There are in 2019, if you remember, they published articles. We have taken 2018 to 2020, right? Okay, update. Okay, so we have published around 300 articles in 2018. That 300 immediately they started receiving citations. In 2018 itself they have got 141 citation, and again it increased to 1000, and again it increased to 3200. In the present year 5000 cumulative, 6000, now again 5000 citations, not cumulative, each year number of citations. Okay. So, total cumulative citation is 21,000. That means VTU is publishing a high quality journal which is receiving lot of citations, okay, which will significantly gives weightage to that publication. This is how each paper has got a citation in each year. Okay. Say we can display up to 200. This is how the citation profiling can be done. And what is the H index? H index for these 3 years publication is 68, which is very good. Okay. See, this is the H index graph. 68 is a H index graph, where it has intersected number of citations and number of papers. Okay. For example, this is a document, this is the citation. If you see, the 68th paper would have got H index. If VTU's H index has to be 69, means these two should reach 69, because all others are more than 69. So, there is a likely chances that if these two articles, this article get 1 citation, this article get 2 citations, H index will become 69. Then 70 means all these articles should increase. These are the potential articles which can contribute to the increase of H index. Okay. This is how we can we can compute these various metrics, and for knowing this publication, the journal based metrics as I demonstrated earlier. So, these are the various journal based metrics, number of citations, percentile, Q1. For example, this particular journal is a Q1 journal in a medical field. Okay. So, these are the area it takes articles, oncology, hematology. Okay. Both are in 99th percentile, that means it is a Q1 journal. Site score is somewhere 817.3, and the total number of documents published this many, and these many documents has given this many citations in the 3-year window of site score. And also it will have a SNIP score. Yeah, see here. Okay. So, there are other various metrics also. I think as far as fundamental metrics are concerned, so these are the mainly used metrics. So, topics what we covered is we saw what are the publication metric sources like Scopus and Web of Science. We saw author based metrics, we saw journal based metrics, we saw article level based metrics, and in journal based metrics we saw impact factor, immediacy index, eigenfactor, eigenscore, and site score, SNIP score, STR score. In author based citation profiling, H index, G index, I10 index. Okay, in altmetrics we saw, and I am sure this has given a broader overview of these publication metrics to you all. I think this will be my last module. I hope I was able to give some knowledge. I assume that at the end of the day you have gained some knowledge from these modules what we both discussed, and I have one suggestion for you as far as examination point of view is concerned. There is one book exclusively on research and publication ethics published by Santosh Kumar Yadav at Springer and Ane book this thing. If you can get hold of this book and please go through it, it will give you in detail understanding of various concepts from philosophy to publication misconducts to scholarly publishing. He has tried to cover almost all topics which are there in research and publication ethics. Definitely it will help you to understand these topics. Okay, and I have prepared a Mendeley lab instruction manual. I will share all my PPTs, my resource material with course coordinators. Please do contact them, and if you are interested in going through this material, please take from them. There is no copyright for this. These are all under OER, Open Education Resources, and you can use for your understanding purpose. And if you want to share with somebody, you can also share. So at the end of a day, knowledge sharing should go on. See, that is the main objective. Okay. Thank you very much for your kind patience, and all the very best for your examination and your for research career. Goodbye.